Yeah, hello. My name is Emeka Madueke. I am the CEO and founder of Lagos Liv'n. Welcome to Sessions.
Then they call you UCC, you they laugh, baby.
Sessions is basically where we get to educate our people and let them know about our culture. But we also do that through fashion, the designs that we've made, how we kind of like tell stories on the reason why we are creating that design. But it's mainly just for us to have that opportunity to shed light on our history and who we are, and kind of like just getting people back to where we're from. The mission is basically to educate educate people, like I said earlier, just to have them know certain things, because sometimes you're having conversation and some people don't really know the history of where they're from. Like me, now I'm an Igbo person. There's certain histories I don't know, and there's certain histories that most people don't know. So we get to research those history and certain things, and let people know this is who they are and what they're about. I think for the future sessions that we're going to have, we're going to talk about how some of the cultures that we're going to be getting to you guys, how it affects our design in terms of our production, and the story behind each some of our designs that we're going to make. We're going to tell you the reason why we went that direction, so that you just don't we're not just making clothes just for making clothes sake. We're trying to tell a story through it, or trying to educate our people on what it's about. So you'll be seeing a lot of icons being talked about, a lot of history, a lot of languages and all that being expressed in this period, in the sessions. I always wanted to create something that people can connect with. There are a lot of brands out there that we wear, but there are some that speak to us, but not some that directly speaks to us. And I wanted something that we could wear and can be proud of. My uncles were my inspiration. They used to sell clothes back in the day, and I would go to their store. So being in that space and kind of like seeing how they did it, here I am now, kind of like decided to, instead of selling other people's brands, to actually sell our own brand, our own thing that is about us. And that way we can, people can connect to it and feel part of it. Ralph Lauren, for sure. He's up there for me. Virgil, Kanye. What I would say about Ralph Lauren is how he was able to take the English wear and make it American. And Kanye is like, he's the remix king, so he's great at remixing things and changing it. So I figured that's one way I can take the American or the European fashion, Western fashion, and put it that way, and remix it to fit the African culture. That's why I decided to do it. Well, for me, Lagos Living is something I've always wanted it to be something that's connected to pop culture, and right now Afrobeat is everywhere. A lot of people are getting into it, and they're enjoying the music. But I also wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk about who we are and our culture. We love the foreign designers, like I said, Ralph Lauren, Virgil, Off White. We love it, but there's nothing that speaks to us directly. So that's why I feel like this would be a great opportunity for us to express ourselves, not just through music, but also through our clothes. So when people see, you can wear it and you can be proud to say, you know what, I'm wearing something of quality, because that's what we are. We are quality, people, and I wanted us to be proud to say, hey, this is something that connects to me. And that's why I figured, I could create something that shows who we are and what we're about. What I would say my main drive is I felt personally, for me, I wanted to just leave. I wanted to make sure I made an impact, one way or the other. And I love design, and I figured design is one way I could speak, and and I'll be heard. And being able to do it through fashion, and I call it wearable art. Wearable art. That's what I call it. It's not just a clothes that you buy. It's a clothes that you buy. In the future, attains value that you can decide, you know what, I want to sell it, and you maybe you bought it for $50, you can sell it for $100 in the future. So I wanted to create something that has value. So I would say value is my main drive for creating what I'm doing. I wanted to make something that shows that we are people of value. So that's my goal. This art collection was started, as an ode to my, culture. I'm an Igbo man, a proud one for that matter. So I figured one way I could do that is to, through my designs, to tell people where I'm from, what we're about, and I chose that as our premium brand, to more not just talk about the design, but also the language. A lot of people right now, the language is gradually coming back. People are talking about it and love, YouTube channels teaching Igbo language. So hey, one way we can do it is through our clothes. We can tell people about it through our designs that we make in clothes, and to show what it means to be an Igbo person, and that is not easy. The Igbo people in general are very. A lot of people see us as being proud. And they might be correct. We don't back down easily, and we believe in ourselves very well. So I know for sure that being an Igbo man or being an Igbo lady, for women, is something that they are proud of, and that they are, we're based on our history and what we've gone through. We have been through a lot, and we are very confident and, strong people. With the women line, because when we started Isiago, most women felt like it was too focused on the male figure, and I said, okay, you know what? It is for everybody, but I decided to create something specifically for the ladies, especially for them because they are special to us. So we call that as a baby, and the focus there is to, let people know about our women and how beautiful they are and how strong they are, and so we just try to let people, with our designs, we try to show that in all our different designs that we're going to be creating for them. The word Isiago is the head of a leopard. And, the reason why is because back in the day, based on mythological and history, we used to shape shift into leopards to fight, to hunt. And I know normally when you buy the material right now, you see the head of a lion. That is totally wrong. The lion in the Igbo word is Odum, it's not Agu. Agu is leopard. So, when that whole material started with the white folks, they believed that a lion is a bit more prestige and strong, and that's how we could, you know, depict or describe the Igbo man. So we bought into it, but it's a wrong interpretation. The right interpretation is a leopard, because a lion is actually a lazy animal, and the Igbo man is not a lazy man. The Igbo man goes for what he wants. He hunts for himself. The lion doesn't hunt. The lion sleeps all day, and there are no lions in the east where I'm from. The lion stays in the safari. So clearly, the whole message in there was wrong. But I get where they're coming from. So that's why we're trying to re-educate people on that, to let them know, hey, this is who you are and this is who you're supposed to be. Like the t-shirt I'm wearing right now, this is like one of my first designs. It's inspired by rock and roll, yeah, Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones. It was inspired by the Rolling Stones, but I figured, to have that African infusion there, I decided to add the tongue to be an Ankara print. So that was one way I could infuse that African culture into it, to say, hey, look, we can still have fun, we can still listen to rock, but you can do that, be also being an African person and be proud doing that. So that was the idea behind this one. This particular design is bold for, our bold folks who don't care, who express themselves no matter what. This is the idea behind this particular design for people who just express themselves and go for what they want. And the hats. Yeah, this is a special edition hat. Arisago hat is the Odogu edition, because as time goes on, we're going to be releasing different editions So this one is our first special edition. It's called the Odogu for the Igbo man. It's basically a description of what the Igbo man is, which is an Odogu, a provider, a protector. That's the proper definition of what an Odogu is. So when you see someone wearing this on their head, what they're trying to tell you is that yes, I'm an Odogu, and the red color also is shows like it's a representation of when an Igbo man wearing the titled cap, which is red in color, that's when you have, you're titled Igbo man. So that's one of the ways I figured, okay, yeah, we can show that to to the world and say, hey, when you see someone wearing this, show some respect. The word Odogu, the title Odogu, is attributed to a man who is a provider, a protector, and someone that the community that takes care of the community where they are. So that's why we think this is a way for us to show appreciation to those men and say, hey, we see you, we honor you, and we made this so that people know who you are and give you that respect. Title for an Igbo man is someone who has achieved something. There are different titles that you can have. They have the, Aguna Chamba. There's 180 Laura. These are different ways to identify someone. They say this is how they come and say this is who I am, or this is how the community sees you. So for you to be called an Odogu, it means that you are someone that the community sees as a provider and a protector. They know that okay, hey, with you in their presence, they're safe. And so that's so having that title in the Igbo community is not it's not an easy. It's not just thrown around. I know right now, you see the movies people like Dogu this or Dogu that, but the true meaning of it is a man who is one, confident in who he is, and not just confident, but also takes care of people around him, provides for them, protects them. That's what the true meaning of what an Odogu is. So when you have that title, you're definitely up there in the echelon. With our drops in general, we do have a certain number that we make, and we don't repeat designs. We once we make that design and you buy it, it's done. So for like this one now, this is an exclusive drop. We've made 100 of these, so and it is going quick. So once you grab it and if you don't get it now, you're not gonna get it again. It might be 5 to 10 years down the line, maybe we might revisit that design, but the chances of it being made again is pretty slim. Like we personally, I don't even want to do it. I prefer to just have one drop. Once we do that drop, it's gone. It's gone because we want that to attain value. We just don't want it to just be watered down and you just like it's everywhere. We want it to be something of value. Hence why we decided to make it a drop. So each design is pretty exclusive, but now we have the exclusive, like this hat and some other designs that we're going to be, bringing out to you guys. Those are the ones I would say grab it while you can because once it's gone, and they will never come back. And the heart of our philosophy lies that you're not just merely purchasing a clothes, you're purchasing a piece of art that is going to transcend the future. So that's why we are big on having the particular limited number. Each stitch, every detail, and the fabric that is chosen, they all come together to tell a story. A story of your ambition and your journey as you go to achieve, live your dream and achieve your dream and live your dream. So that is the idea behind our every piece that we make. We just don't see it as a piece of cloth. We see it as wearable art, a piece of art. So it is transcending in value as time goes on. Consider it an investment, not only your wardrobe, but in your story. A story, that you take as you wear your Lagos Liv'n attire, as you express yourself and let people know that, hey, look, I'm living my dream. I went for my dream. I made it, and I'm living it. One of the big ones that we are really is a tiny detail, but is for us is big is through our care labels. We try to make sure that not just having English words, we also try to bring in the Igbo word there. So, for example, when you have your 100% cotton, we also have 100% Owu, which means cotton in the Igbo language. So those are the ways we try to, introduce our language there, implement it there to show, hey, it is for us and by us. So that's why I want to make sure that we're not just doing like English. No, we're Igbo people, we're Africans, we're Nigerians, and the goal is to educate us on our different languages because some of us don't know, and one of the ways we can learn is through that too. Well, in the Igbo culture, storytelling is pretty big. I grew up and having to sit and listen to my grandma tell us stories at night, and I figured one way for us to be able to tell stories through our clothing is by implementing different ideas. For example, one of our projects that we're working on is one with the 20 pounds, where we talk about the story of how what we went through as a tribe, where we lost everything and we had to build ourselves back with just 20 pounds. That's one project. We also have the Iconica, where we talk about different female characters that we had so far, and we kind of like shed light on them and what they did. So that's how we try to like talk about this stuff. It's beautiful wearing a Beyonce T-shirt, but it'd be lovely to have someone who is of where you're from that you're proud to say, hey, look, this woman did something great, and I want to show the world. We're definitely super excited to have you guys on this journey with us. And would please make sure to subscribe and follow and share with your friends as well. And also, but the main thing that I am really really pumped about is the feedback. Yeah, if you have any topic that you feel like, hey, we haven't talked about, and you want us to talk about it, send it to us. We'd be more than happy to, go through that and educate everybody. It's knowledge shared is a great thing. So yeah, we're looking forward to you guys coming on this journey with us, and it should be fun.